gonna do this?
Yeah. Is that only puck?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Rolling
Try crossing over in this shit.
Why I say it's time to fix the damn roads.
A little to the left.
Okay, it's 1988, you're living in Los Angeles, you're unemployed, and you're 26, and you're probably wondering to yourself, how the fuck am I paying for anything? Oh yeah, I'm dying. Just before you pass out in your 100-degree couch in your 100-degree apartment, you soon focus in on this wide-eyed Canadian boy that shouldn't really have a reason to be sad. He's the best at what he does, not only in his country, but the world. But as you turn up the volume and start getting context of the situation.
The Edmonton Oilers have agreed to trade Wayne Gretzky to Los Angeles.
Oh. Shit. Soon enough, it all starts coming back to you. You love the game as a kid, even though you played on one of the worst Pee-wee teams of all time. You watched the movie Bad News Bears 36 times this week and 546 times overall. You go to LA Kings games mostly because they're cheap as fuck, although the team is sometimes worse than your Pee-wee team. And now, Wayne Gretzky is coming to the United States of America, to that team, to play hockey in California. Stephen Brill finished writing The Mighty Ducks shortly after that. It took a little selling and maneuvering to get it off the ground, but eventually, this little tiny indie studio that almost suffered a hostile takeover 4 years earlier, Disney, ended up buying the script. Yeah, Michael Eisner saw firsthand how well a plastered baseball coach sold at Paramount and figured, hockey moms can relate. After getting Sporto to be the coach, Disney rounded up the roster of kids from all across the nation, and naturally, none of them knew how to skate. Emilio was cast as the guy to make them look not terrible, but Jack White was that guy behind the scenes. Dude got the kids somewhat skating, crossing over, and edging all after 6 weeks. He was bringing in professionals, being an ice maestro, making sure the choreography on the ice was more or less realistic. And just for fun, he storyboarded the scenes because he was also an animator that turned down the original James Avery as Shredder Ninja Turtles for this. I don't know why, but he did. Yeah, stunt doubles make everyone look better, but when Averman's getting a scholarship to Western Michigan, I want to be in that school. All right, let's get into the movie itself. Criminal defense attorney and noted dickhead Gordon Bombay gets a Dewey and has to serve his community by coaching a hockey team full of kids. For context,
I hate hockey and I don't like kids.
And
You really suck.
it goes well, they love each other, the only coaching he does is actual cheating. Then the epiphany happens.
This is what I gave up my overtime pay for? To see my kids taking falls?
He rediscovers his love for the game, teaches it properly to the kids, acts as a father figure for a fellow fatherless human, and does it all for fun! For fun! It's pretty simple and basic. Coach Riley is a Disney villain, and so are his kids.
What'd you do, my Joe?
Scott Hart, Mike Modano kills me. You can tell they had a blast making it. It's okay. It also made $50 million at the box office on a $14 million budget.
Profitable IP.
They, of course, greenlit a sequel immediately, but Eisner was like, you know what we can do? Cross-promotion plus synergy equals infinite money. The NHL post-Gretzky trade was already expanding to coastal markets like San Jose, Tampa Bay, and Sunrise. Disney was also expanding themselves, putting out the Renaissance pieces, building new parks and hotels, and planning a whole decade of other expensive shit. Kings owner Bruce McNall was basically asking for another California team, and Disney was like, yeah, dog. They bought the franchise in December 1992 for what they made on the first movie. And on March 1st, 1993, Eisner announced the team name.
The Mighty Ducks.
Strategically, this was right when they were pushing the VHS, now available to own on video, of course. In June, they revealed the logo for merch that is so sweet, succulent, and most importantly, marketable. Oh yeah, and they built the actual team, that team that was supposed to happen too. How this works is basically the incoming team gets to claim a positional combination out of a pool of players that every other team didn't want or need. Naturally, that team does very, 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 very bad before becoming, you know, an actual thing, usually. But did this company market them like a typical expansion team? Let's do that, but completely ruin it. Oh, like tie your bird call around your neck, my friends, and we'll provide the rest. Exactly. Guys, what if we beat switch to warrant singing the second verse? Sure, but it needs more Tron from Undertale. Dude, that line has so much emotional inconsistency. It's perfect. What if we wheeled the shitty Star Tours knockoff van to center ice, dimmed the lights, and had the PA announcer say,
"From the depths of the pond, the mighty Iceman cometh."
Oh shit! Nah, it's just some fucking guy. I just feel like Tin Man with a bedazzled starter cap and cut off sleeves just screams hockey. We need him to tell the fans to grab their duck calls and blow with all their might. Classic Disney sexual undertones, of course. Then let's drop Wild Wing into the place, give him a flamethrower goal stick that's highly unsafe, and call it a night. Background agreement noise. Background agreement. And we introduced the team after that, right?
There's a team?
Yeah, and they actually did pretty okay considering they had to follow that $450,000 masterclass in live entertainment. But they were not the first team to play at the pond in front of 15,000 plus. D2, the Mighty Ducks 2 Remastered HD Plus, was prepping for a release right near the end of the NHL season to keep the hype for the franchise rolling. In this one, we see Gordon and most of the Ducks go from small town Minnesota to representing Team USA at the Junior Goodwill Games in LA. We're introduced to 5 new kids who range from Benny the Jet to singing voice of Max in a Goofy movie. You can see it. And the Ducks are reluctant to accept them. All the while, they become complete sellouts after getting an endorsement from this goob. This particularly affects Gordon, who gets so caught up in the convenient cameos that he starts pitching Air Gordons to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's wondering, why am I here? In the process, he forgets how to do things for fun.
Who said it was supposed to be fun?
And loses his team again for an actually credible reason this time.
That's right, Coach. They are losers. I was being sarcastic.
He rediscovers his love for the game, this time in beautiful sun-shaded California, gets his team to the gold medal game at
The Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California.
What do you know? And they come out wearing, yeah, in case you didn't pick this up, there's so much dumb shit that happens in this movie. Clotheslines, knuckle puck, people talking shit about Texas, Iceland being a literal NHL team. I will say though, Gordon becoming Riley Light's kind of half interesting. Wayne's fine. The reunion scene is probably the best thing to ever happen to this franchise. The box office numbers kind of cancel everything out anyway. Speaking of that, let's do a quick financial recap of this series since the first movie dropped. $100 million at the box office between the two movies. $54 million from VHS sales from the first movie, which was the 23rd most popular video rental of 1993. It's not exactly Aladdin, but... And $1 billion in NHL merch sales after the team's first year of existence. You know, the Ducks kind of help with that. I mean, they made up 80% of that. The Ducks made Disney think that they were such an actual sports company now. They said, let's do the same exact thing, but baseball. Hey, you know what? Let's buy ESPN, too. You can't buy ESPN. They're owned by ABC. We'll fucking buy them, too, for $19 billion in cash, motherfucker. And we'll start a regional sports network where we own the teams and the networks they play on because bibbity bobbity. Fuck you! And then Mighty Ducks 3 dropped in 1996.
This is a distraction in a fire in a barrel.
That's pretty much all you have to know about that movie, though the studio kind of ruined it. Originally, the Ducks were going to go back to the Goodwill games and play Iceland again. Before a semis game against them, some asshole in Bulgaria would have called Goldberg a and incited this huge lunchroom scuffle. Iceland, the rival team from the first movie, would have come in to help the Ducks in this fight. After this, the Ducks would play the now enemy of their enemy and actually lose. Really getting Empire and Infinity War vibes from this. But instead of going home, they'd actually train Iceland to beat Bulgaria using their techniques in a cute my archenemy becoming my best friend type of deal. Probably wouldn't have been good, but probably could have been a better conclusion to the trilogy. Honestly though, it probably wouldn't have mattered. The movie halved at the box office, also known as got outgrossed by James and the Giant Peach, and the brand was running its course. And when a brand runs its course, you make the Mighty Ducks animated series. Anthropomorphic ducks live on a planet of hockey-playing ducks called Puck World in complete egalitarian utopia thanks to this dude who saved them from invisible dinosaurs by inventing a goalie mask that could see through their invisibility. This is real. Utopia reigns until the last surviving dictator voiced by Tim Curry in prime form
Deal with it, duck boy.
comes back, murders the planet, and everything sucks until the Resistance finds the mask and Twin Beaks and use it to chase our bad guy through an interdimensional gateway across the universe to Anaheim, California, where they become this universe's Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, and their owner milks them for all they're worth. Meta! They become part-time crime fighters against a gallery of villains from beatniks to fridges while pursuing Dragon Boy, who needs the
Beryllium crystals
to help his ship take off so he can blow up Disneyland and rule the world, but every time he tries, the Ducks stop him with puck cannons, puck bazookas, puck lassos, puck grenades, duck tanks, duck cycles.
So come and be a Toys R Us kid.
In other words, it was very faithful to the source material. Yeah, it didn't last very long, and it's apparent they knew it wouldn't.
We're definitely about to be canceled.
But to their credit, the pinball game lasted another 20 years at Disney Quest. Just don't make them like this anymore. As for the rest of the brand, the actually real NHL team made the playoffs for the first time in 1997, only to miss 4 of the next 5 years. They did make a crazy run to Game 7 of the finals in 2003, then missed the next year. In that time, Disney abandoned the regional sports network idea because Fox was already a fucking behemoth in that part of TV, owning 22 different RSNs, including the Ducks and the Angels. No other supporting pieces were made for the Ducks after the animated series, and the company started losing money on them in the early 2000s. Between billionaires shaking their dicks in the boardroom over company direction, the lack of RSN control, and the NHL locking out in 2005, there was really no incentive for Disney to keep the team. 10 days after the work stoppage, they sold the team, inspired by, made to commoditize the surprising, humble hit crafted in an LA apartment 17 years before. They kept the pool, though. As for the now independent NHL team, they changed their name a year in to kind of distance themselves away from the mouse. They won a Stanley Cup in their first year as the Anaheim Ducks and have made the playoffs 11 of 15 years since being sold, kind of effectively doing that. Disney's done well too. The Mighty Ducks IP is still owned by the company, hence the pool, and they're actually putting out a new live-action TV series reboot in 2021 on Disney+. I didn't grow up with this. I was not a Mighty Ducks kid. I was into way more sophisticated films in the early to mid-2000s. But after seeing all 2 films in the animated series for the first time this year, yeah, I still don't believe this was a billion-dollar franchise. Emilio doesn't even know. Like a lot of things, the timing was pretty immaculate. Gretzky coming over, the league expanding, Disney making a down payment on collective conscience. But none of this matters. Nobody cares. There are no podcasts. There are no reunions. There is no team. There is no pinball game. There is no pool if the original work isn't appealing enough. It's no Bad News Bears, but they couldn't make that movie, so they made hockey look as goofy and, dare I say, fun as possible, which is a lost art. Man, I know who the hell this person selling me the new Animaniacs is, but you know what I'm talking about when you hear Goldberg, Triple Deke, Knuckle Puck, and the Flying V. As bullshit as it is.